it's funny how we stress about things that if we really thought about it, it won't matter tomorrow. Keep your brain active, learning things, you know, and it was interesting. I have to dig it out. It was in Portuguese and I translated to English because it was such a good paper saying, you know, find a new passion, go try different foods, ethnicities. Thank you. Ethnicities, and find different friends that enjoy the different things that you're doing and create a different experience. Go on different trips that you would not go normally, but go experience life so you can have the passion to keep moving you forward and keep your brain guessing, because it will. I mean, it's a very smart brain, but it doesn't like, I mean, it likes repetition. So it
likes what it knows.
Yeah, it likes what it knows.
It literally is a pattern recognition
exactly.
system. So
it likes
pattern
that pattern.
Exists,
yeah,
it's going to follow. Yep.
It likes that match and it likes that pattern. So I'm going home. Okay, so I'm going this way, you know. And I mean, to your house, you don't have many options. But to my place, I have tried and have found out that can't go this one. It's just one-way road. But it's just find different ways to get to the same place and enjoy the experience. Find different ways to handle, you know, relate to people, relate to people and create a different experience altogether. And so, I mean, I was a very literal, black and white, letter of the law person. And now it's not so much. And it's, I mean, my kids are shocked that has happened. But I'm loving it because it just doesn't, it's so free. It's so free to, it's freeing to me to know I don't have to have that outcome necessarily. I can have this one and this one and that one, and I'm okay with all of them.
Being open, being in that accepting state, and that comes from literally practicing heart coherence. That's the practice of opening up the brain, but it's that intention.
Yeah, and right? I mean, like even with the heart monitor meditation, I was so attached to the numbers of that thing. Yes, and I'm like,
she was working so hard. I'm like,
and data's good. Data's feedback, and that's how we can.
But the minute that I detach myself from the numbers, the numbers went up.
Well, she'd send me your screenshots, and I was like,
well, look at your focus in the moment. What was your focus in the moment?
Get the numbers up.
Okay.
Stay out of the red. Stay out of the blue. Be in the green.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Well, let's do some live coaching here.
Yes.
Okay. So you're focusing on the number. What we're talking about is the heart rate variability monitor that judges your coherent state in the moment. That judges heart rate variability, which determines your level of coherence, meaning the rhythmic output of your heartbeats. Right. And so there's an app, the Inner Balance app by HeartMath. And you can watch it real time. There's other things like Whoop and, Oura Rings and things like that are great pieces of technology, but don't do it in real time in the moment. So you put this on your earlobe, best place to track heart rate variability, one of the best places, and it'll give you real time data. You can watch, you can sit there, and you can think a thought of frustration, and it will go red. You can do your heart focused breathing, and it'll go up. Like you can't trick it. It's like a lie detector test. You cannot trick it. But
I can't watch it.
But the point, but the point is this is a perfect live coaching is when you're focused on that number, what are you saying in your head? Don't go in the red. I hate being in the red. I don't want to be in the blue. What are you going to be in?
Red and blue.
Red and blue, right? It's letting go and saying, you know what? I'm going to free myself. And this is the meditation process, right? Freeing ourselves from the limited thoughts that we've been thinking, freeing ourselves from the emotions in the moment and letting go
Yeah.
And being in the moment and saying, you know what? Is it possible to experience and feel gratitude right now for someone, someplace, or something?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And my meditation has changed completely. But at the beginning, I had that monitor in front of me and I was watching that little circle going red and blue and a little green and red and blue. And I'm like, why is it not working? And then I just put it down and it's all green now.
As you're becoming frustrated, why isn't it working? Right? We do that so often though. Why isn't this working?
But controlling the damn outcome. Sorry. But
Don't swear on our podcast.
Controlling the outcome.
And Sarah would send me screenshots with swear words, and I was like, I don't know, just gonna have to let it go. As soon as
a
you're not
screenshot
sending
and
me
just one word, damn.
As soon as you don't need to look at the numbers anymore, it'll probably change. That was my advice.
But I highly recommend getting one because if not, it's tough to determine where you're at.
It's
on your
awesome.
coherence level.
It's awesome.
The higher your coherence means the higher your vibrationary state. The higher you vibrate, the better you attract. Law of attraction. But no, that's such a perfect scenario that's where we have to shift our focus. That's where in the moment driving home, can you stay in your heart? Can you open up your heart and notice things of gratitude on your way home that you've never noticed before?
Absolutely.
Right? Can you pay attention to different things?
I love Wayne Dyer because in one of his books, I can't remember which one, but he talks about this little lady driving in front of him and she's going below the speed limit. She stops at the yellow light, not red. and he's behind her and people are honking in the back and he's just enjoying and say, hey, I'm going to enjoy this. And he's like, you just got to enjoy the moment. You just got to enjoy what's happening. And if you are in your car and you get to meditate and you get to give gratitude, I assure you, somebody behind you is going to honk the horn if you're missing out. So,
yeah, they'll let you know.
Yes, they will let you know. So, but it's like being in a hurry and yelling at the drivers and all this good stuff. It puts you in a tense state and it puts you in a frustrated state. And if you're going, well, yeah, there's traffic. Can I do anything about it? Not really. I mean, I can be in it and drive at the speed that it's going, but I can't change that people are rubbernecking a mile ahead, that somebody's got a flat tire or a cop pulled somebody over. I can't change that fact. If I am upset, is it going to make it go faster? Unfortunately, no. It just is going to change my experience from it's okay, I can focus on something else and be upset and make me uptight, gonna get my neck tight and I'm gonna be in a bad mood. What for? You know what I mean? It's just, it's so little.
Inducing that stress for not that big a reason, right?
Exactly.
But we all do it. But that's the point is practicing and reconditioning ourselves to be present in the moment where if we're stuck in traffic, can we look on it with a different disposition of like, you know what? I hope everyone's okay. If there's a wreck, I hope everyone's okay because I wouldn't want that to happen to me. So hopefully them and their family are okay or whatever that is. But being present in the moment and not allowing those external environment, those external conditions to dictate our internal state, it's such a valuable practice. Yeah. Because if not, then you're keep going to stress. And again, it's not this slight change in the body. It's a 1,400 biochemical, neurochemical shift.
And how many hours do you stay in it?
About 12 hours on average right now. Right?
I mean, is it worth it?
But on average, but look, if you shift from peace to anger in the moment because somebody's, traffic's bad, that's at least 7 hours based on neuroscience and scientific data. It takes 7 hours to calm the nervous system down. Exactly. Well, if we're creating in every moment, not only is your body going to suffer by that physiologically, but you're not attracting and creating what you could in those 7 hours of that day, right? So
Yeah. And I mean, the exhaustion that it causes in the body is unbelievable, right? And you get home and you're exhausted and you don't know why. But it's something that next week it's not going to matter. Tomorrow it's not going to matter.
Right.
But the workout that you put your body through in a negative way, not pumping at the gym, but the toxic workout that you put the body through with that amount of stress,
right.
you can't make it up in your sleep. You can't make it up because in the sleep, the body's healing. But if it's so exhausted that it can't, it won't.
Well, and then when you're so exhausted, then your mood is
Foul.
a lot poor. It's hard to regulate your mood when you're so tired, right?
Yeah,
because it takes
right?
energy. And so then you're going to sleep in a stressed out state. And then what happens is your body doesn't produce the right hormones during sleep, DHEA, human growth hormone, to repair and recover. And then you wake up tired, even more tired. And then it's just that perpetual
And then you
cycle.
state, I'm exhausted. I am tired. Not tired is on me or exhaustion is on me. And you own it. So the body says, oh, okay, they want to be exhausted. They want to be tired. Okay, let me deliver it.
Yeah. Well, and how many people we worked on, it's like, no matter how much sleep I get, I'm always tired. I never wake up rested.
Exactly. Because
that's the chemical response that's happening in their body.
Yeah. So
Because they're not shifting to coherent state, shifting that nervous system. Yeah, and speaking of sleep, that's why it's so important to go to sleep in a coherent state. Literally, that's what I encourage to everybody is to get into a heart coherent state with heart focused breathing meditation, about 10 minutes before you go to sleep or while falling asleep. While falling asleep. Wall, like the wall. While falling asleep, because it's the extreme balance of the nervous system that governs 90 to 95% of all your bodily functions. You start producing DHEA, human growth hormone, really start regenerating during that sleep. And so then, also that's the window to the subconscious. So if we're falling asleep worried about things, stressed about tomorrow or what happened today, that's that window into the subconscious. As we fall asleep, we fall into those theta brainwave patterns, which is the window of the subconscious. We're programming our subconscious while we sleep as well. And so if we're, worried about tomorrow, stressed about tomorrow, frustrated, about what didn't go right today, that won't go so well. Not only will your nervous system be out of whack and out of balance and you won't get restful sleep, but that will further program that subconscious to those states. So we want to fall asleep in calm, in peace, in ease, best if gratitude and appreciation, because of those are, more elevated frequencies than peace and calm, but at least peace and calm as we fall asleep.
Well, if not, then you're stressed when you're awake and you're stressed when you're asleep and you never get that reprieve.
Right.
you're not rested. I mean, your body doesn't get a break because your mind doesn't get a break, and it's the survival mode, and you feel exhausted, and then you go about your day and it doesn't go well because you're not high in vibration, you're not positive, then you go to sleep. I mean, it's a vicious circle. Cycle.
Cycle is a circle. Same difference. You can go in a circle.
Sometimes, like she was talking about doing content for her website, and she kept saying content, and I said, say content.
You can do happiness on your
Absolutely.
for your content. You can do content.
There you go. Content. Yes.
But yeah, it is that vicious cycle or circle that we go through.
It's
and
like
it's
a
like
mouse-
you're
a
stressed
mouse
out
wheel.
today.
Yeah.
You're stressed out today. Like let's say you got little sleep last night, which we kind of did because we got in late, but you get little sleep, then the probability that your mood will suffer a little because you're tired is pretty high, very high. And so your mood suffers a little. You're a little more reactionary with people. You're shorter tempered with people. Things frustrate you more easily because the nervous system's already a little tired, so it's going to react faster. And so what happens then is you go through the day, maybe more stress is added on because you're already tired, so you're not performing at your highest capability. Then you go to sleep already frustrated. You're producing that cortisol from 7 to 12 hours on average. Mainly 12 hours on average. The 7's more of the heightened, like anger, like super high. But we scientifically about 12 hours a day at cortisol production. Like
That
not
sucks.
great. Cortisol downregulates cells. Not great, right? Sickness, illness, disease. So then you go to sleep, you get not as good a sleep either, maybe a couple more hours, but not as restful. And then that cycle continues into the next day. And then, eating gets poor because you're searching for carbs because you're tired. It just is a giant vicious cycle that a lot of us go through quite often. And sometimes it feels like there's no reprieve, right?
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny how we stress about things that if we really thought about it, it won't matter tomorrow.
Not that big a deal.
It's not that big a deal.
Right.
But we put ourselves in that spot and it's hours later and you're feeling the effects of that. But it was silly too. You know what I mean? It's like the traffic thing. You'd be upset about the traffic. You come home, you're in a bad mood. It changes your whole night into the sleep and into the next day.
Right.
And it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
just,
little significance overall.
yeah. But it can change the whole dynamic of your life for days.
Well, because your perceptions are based off of your heart rhythms.
Yeah.
And your heart rhythms are based off of your emotions in the moment.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to learn to regulate the nervous system from the heart so the brain can access its full capabilities and you can be present in the moment. And your perception can be of gratitude and appreciation, compassion, care, peace, joy, right? And enjoy, like you're talking about Wayne Dyer. Love everything
Oh,
he says.
I love him.
Oh, yeah.
I love him.
But to enjoy something in the moment would suggest that we have to be in joy, right? Enjoy. So we have to be feeling joy to enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I can't be feeling joy if I'm feeling fear or worry or pain or frustration or anger, right?
You're correct.
Not possible. I can't feel a positive and negative emotion at the same time.
Yeah.
And so we really have to condition ourselves and practice this coherent state. But a lot of people find it difficult because of all of the built up emotions, right? We talked about stress a couple episodes ago, but stress accumulates, right? Negative emotions stack up.
The
That's what
containers
happens.
get bigger
Right.
in the fridge.
Right. And so you have to get rid of a lot of those that are plaguing the nervous system. And that's where you and Altee come in. Actually, I'd like you to explain more like when you find anxiety, let's say, or you find frustration, like explain that, like what are the dangers of, or not dangers, but why is it so important to get those trapped emotions out of the body?
Well, I was just, as you were saying that with anxiety, I'm thinking, when I'm in a session with someone and they're like, I have anxiety, I am anxious, I have anxiety. Again, I'll pull up some of the resources that I like to use and look at it and go, okay, so what's here? Let me just pull it up. But it's like, okay, here's some options. Feels unable to call the shots in life, feels boxed in, and feels helpless to affect a change. So it's like, when it just summarizes anxiety, it's like, okay, it's like hooking up to your car to the diagnostic tool. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, let's find out where this error code, what does the error code mean?
Like I have a check engine light and this is what I think it is, but is that exactly what it is?
But it might be,
right.
Something different than what you think. And with the process of elimination, you can pinpoint maybe even like little thing that is just having such a big effect. And so, sometimes they're aware of maybe a situation that's currently happening or something from the past that they just are replaying over and over again. But as we start to address some of these underlying issues, the anxiety starts to lessen. the amplitude of it or the frequency, like how frequently it's happening of it, lessens when you start to identify where it's coming from. And so it's just so helpful to have these tools, and it's so effective and so efficient, really. And when we can clear those by pinpointing the exact emotion, or maybe even collection of emotions that are together, and compounded, or maybe, lumped together, how that is relief. Sometimes immediate, a lot of times immediate. I mean, we had a session this morning and she just messaged me and just said, it is night and day what I feel this afternoon compared to, when we had our session this morning.
That is awesome.
She came in though with a lot.
It was heavy.
Like bless her.
She
Bless
was
her
heavy
heart.
this morning.
She's so sweet. Like love her. But she was in tears. Like on the onset of the call. And yeah, I mean, identified those emotions, like walk people through it.
What's like the process of going through it, or how we do it? God, I'm on the spot. I'm like, what do I do again? I'm so much better in the flow, not like, it's like in class, you called on, I'm like, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know the answer. Can you repeat the question?
Sorry, teacher, I was not paying attention.
I got caught talking to my neighbor.
We always talk to our neighbors in school.
That is too funny.
We both got in trouble for that.
But Kevin,
on the daily.
Kevin was retaining the information. I was like, ooh, I don't know the answer.
I cannot pay attention and still hear.
Or he can look at, the homework assignment or the numbers, like his locker combination, and it's in his memory bank. And I'm like,
I don't know what I had for breakfast yesterday, so.
And it doesn't matter.
No,
it?
No, it doesn't.
But that's a good point, though. That's a good point, is that the subconscious remembers all of that.
Yeah.
Like if I said, what did you have for dinner last Wednesday? I might remember because I eat the same thing. But like that's not something that you would commonly remember.
No,
right?
and
it's
it
like
doesn't
I have
matter.
no idea what I ate. But whatever emotions you were feeling in the moment with that dinner, the subconscious remembers.
Yeah.
So that's what the identifying process of finding these that are, and it's not going to be from dinner last Wednesday, but
yeah,
like with the session today, something had happened and, it caused a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. And I mean, tears on the onset, but when she can text you today, I mean, that was a tough one.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it was leading up to today's session because we meet weekly, and so she'd let me know that there was something going on significant in her life, and so she was prepared to talk about it and to work through it. And I think sometimes people are surprised at how bad they feel and how quickly it can change.
Right.
Yeah. It's in the moment
with these tools and techniques. And that's what I love. And that's just the power of it. And it's so rewarding. And I mean, we had our Raise Your Vibration call on Wednesday, and I've had 3 people reach out to me and go, I came in really heavy. And the next morning, 3 people messaged me that, we've worked with individually in the past. And so they're familiar with the work. There's some people that tune into the call as like kind of their, the 2-week free trial, and they're just testing out and go, I don't really know what's going on. But for the people who have worked with us and who understand the work and know the impact and can look for that effect and the change, it's immediate a lot of times. And so I had, like I said, 3 people reach out to me the next day and go, I came in heavy for the call. That was exactly what I needed. They understand the power of coherence, heart coherence, and turned some pretty heavy situations around. And when, you're doing that once a week, it's like, bring us your emotional baggage and we'll take it from you. And, you go back about your week, and then, and that's why we recommend, and that's why we started the weekly calls, because we're like, if you check in once a week, and you're doing the practices on your own daily, in the moment, if you can, for just a minute or two, or 10 minutes in the morning, but then really, doing it in a group setting with us, where we're removing some massive emotions and blocks between Sarah and I, and Kevin's getting them, leading a meditation. I mean, the feedback is just overwhelming on Kevin's ability to guide people through a meditation. And I think a lot of it is, his voice is recognizable. He's fantastic at it. They can feel his heart energy. And then also there is a power in masculine energy in that healing space, because unfortunately
it's safe. And unfortunately, the world, that is not what is out there.
Yeah.
It's not safe to be masculine. It's not safe to trust masculine.
Right.
And it's not safe.
And there's been a lot of people.
I will protect you.
Yes. They're the protectors, right? And but there's also been a lot of harm.
Yeah.
Maybe dads or past relationships, and it goes both ways. It's not gender specific or whatever, but the feedback that we've had as we've worked together on people is like the power of that masculine energy present during something so, in this space is just is that much more powerful. Am I articulating my
Thank
thoughts?
you.
Yeah.
Well, and the combination. So on these Razor Vibration calls, we do live work. So we'll take an individual and do live work. But the reason we do that is because it's like going to, a conference and hearing a motivational speaker, and when they explain their story, because every circumstance is a story, right? It's a story. That's how life is, that's what life is made up of all our little stories. And so when we relate our story of, like the individuals in these sessions but in Razor Vibration, when they say, and you and Altee start pinpointing what emotions come up and start identifying, then the whole group, because like you said at the beginning of the podcast, we all share the same emotions. And that's what helps us relate and resonate with other people's stories. And so that's why that's why we are doing Razor Vibration, for that weekly checkpoint, giving everyone that weekly opportunity to come. Because if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have fear, if you have anger, any of the negative emotions, which we all have, and you want to feel better and you want to start expanding and start dictating to life what you want, not letting life dictate to you. Create in the moment.
You're creating, not reacting.
Exactly. And if you want to do that, the link's in the description, but come check it out for a couple weeks for free. But we want as many people as possible, because the more people that are on the call, the better the energetic release and the better the meditation, because we measure large groups of people in a heart coherent meditation at the same time starts to affect not only the people on the call better, but also the world around us, because of the heart energy, the magnetic field of the heart that's expanded with more people on the call, with the heart energies communicating with each other and creating more energy together. And so when you and Altee identify these things, everyone can, I think it's almost everyone that's like, oh, yep. Raise your hand if that resonates with you, because the story may be a little different, but it's like, oh yeah, I've been through something similar.
The experience is different, but the emotion is the same.
Right.
And the degree might be different,
right,
but the emotion is the same. And the trauma generates the beliefs that are the same, and what people don't realize is we stop creating when we need to attack and defend. And when we are on the attack and defend, we're ready. Bring it. And that's not how life is. We're part of the whole, and the whole is one. But society has created a field, if you will, an energy field that you can connect societal fear, societal anger, societal frustration, anxiety, and it's a low vibration. And right now, I mean, I've been to stores this past week, everywhere, all over the place, and I started paying attention as I walk by people. You know, I'm weird like that. I can connect to their energy and feel what they're feeling. And there's despair, there's fear, there's anxiety. I had very few people that I felt peace. And I try to connect to them and give peace, you know, but they are so wrapped in their own stuff, their own fear, their own, you know, that they were not willing to receive it. Mm-hmm. And it is so sad because it's exhausting to be in that state. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can't be in survival and growth at the same time.
No, you can't.
Right? That's like why we're so passionate about this, because it's an impossibility.
Yeah.
If you're in survival, if you're in frustration, anxiety, and depression and worry most of the time, you are not creating in life. So, well, let me restate that. You're always creating in life. Mm-hmm. You're just not creating the things that you desire and the things that you want and the things that you wish for. Mm-hmm. You will be creating more of the same, which is more circumstances of frustration and anger and worry and depression, because that's what you're feeling in the moment.
Well, another thing that people, it's hard to realize this, but ownership. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, the only thing we got that is ours is our power to choose. Mm-hmm. The body we live in is not ours. If God says, you're done, you're done. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, you cannot change a hair in your body, let alone your life substance, right? Your spouse, you guys are not each other's, your own individual. Your children, they're not yours. They're their own individuals. Your house, your car, everything. It's not yours. In Brazil, we have a saying, caskets don't carry drawers. So you go the same way you came with nothing. But
it's attachment and ownership.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that attachment and ownership is stressful. Mm-hmm. Because if you own it, you own it.
Well, if you own it and you lose it, you know, if you own it and it goes, it's a loss.
Yeah. But you get to be steward over. You get to share it. You get to use it, and you get to enjoy it. Mm-hmm. You know, but then it'll be there. You'll be gone. Like I remember in '96, I built the dream home, and I was planning to be a grandmother in that house. Well, I didn't finish raising my kids in that house.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I had to let go of the attachment. You know, don't ever move into a house that you cannot leave behind. Mm-hmm. Because we're transients. We really are. I mean, we go from place to place. We drive the cars we drive to get us from point A to point B, but it is what it is. It's an energy exchange, you know, money, the same thing. And I mean, God blesses us with what we get, with what he knows we can handle. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So, but when we decide to take ownership, that is so stressful because then it's up to us, you know.
Well, and you can see it in people. They're walking around very uptight because they're trying to hold on to what they have.
Uh-huh. And so that's a form of stress. Mm-hmm. That's a form of stress that is unwelcome, and it's so easy to just let go. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't own anybody or anything, that takes a lot out of your mind, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And if we are we're just here to help each other walk back home, right? So the things that we get to experience and use and share and spread, if you will, it becomes much easier when we realize, well, the only thing I got is choice, and I can choose this or that. Mm-hmm. and then my casket is going to be the same size as the next person and it doesn't have drawers, So when we decide that we're not owners, we're stewards, that makes life so much less stressful because there's not that responsibility of owning it. I mean, houses will be standing and will be long gone. Right?
Yeah, it's not being attached.
Yeah.
Right? It's does the house and the car make you, or do you make the house and the car? Because they're
Exactly.
interchangeable, right?
Yeah, they're interchangeable and they're there for you to use and enjoy.
Right.
And bring joy to people's lives. But that's it. It's
But
just a thing.
And a lot of the time, too, on top of that, is when we hold on so tight to these things, it doesn't allow new things to enter in as well, right?
Exactly.
And so,
Well, look at Sarah walking around in the store trying to even share peace, not even stuff. They
just
won't
peace.
accept peace.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to
well,
yeah,
you're closed off to possibility
You
under
are.
stress.
You are. And I
and
mean,
negativity. And that's one of the biggest points, because if you're closed off to new possibility, but that's what you want, that's the point, right? Is like you have to shift out of that state if you want something different. Just a lot of people just don't know how.
yeah. And so, I mean, if you think about it, how can you distress? How can you let go of what you can't control, right? There's another article. I can't give you names and I can't give you titles, but it's about a university that do the rowing competition. And they interviewed the captain of the boat. And they said, how about if the weather's bad? It's not on my boat. How about if the water's choppy? It's not on my boat. What, and the guy was throwing out these things at him and he goes, listen, I can control what's in my boat.
Yep.
I can't control the water. I can't control the weather. I can't control anything outside of my boat. What's in my boat I can control. So what's in your boat? What is up to you that you can change? So the St. Francis prayer, give me patience to accept the things I can't change.
Oh, the serenity.
The serenity prayer.
Serenity prayer.
Yeah.
God grant me the
Patience to accept what I can't and wisdom to
know the difference.
Yeah.
I
We should probably know that.
I butchered that one. But what I'm saying is
God grant me the serenity to change the things I can, accept the things I can, the wisdom to know the difference.
there you go. Something
Good
like
job.
that. Yes, thank you. But it's not if we can't change it, if we can't do anything about it, we shouldn't be stressing over it.
Right.
Because that will consume your health.
Well, the only thing you can do is change the way you look at it, change your perception of it.
And looking at the past and having remorse or feeling guilty or feeling bad about it, that brings us stress that is so unnecessary.
Right.
And
we get what we are,
yeah,
right?
yes,
And so if our default and our autopilot and our neural baseline and our constant is that of worry and, we say stress, but that's all negative emotion, but worry and fear and resentment and frustration, and it's easy to do because we've allowed ourselves to do that and we've conditioned ourselves to do that.
Yeah.
So it's an easy response. And so if we want things to be happier, if we want things to be more joyful, if we want things, more gratitude, more appreciation, more compassion, we have to become that. And that's why a lot of people, to escape stress, like you said, how do you escape stress? Go on vacation. You go on vacation, you come back and there's the same stress.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're changing the external environment.
yeah.
You
for a
can
minute.
you can go, to the gym. I love going to the gym and de-stress a little, but those same emotions are going to be there when you come back. You can go to a concert, you can go to all these things, and then when you leave them, you're right back with
Yeah.
the same habits,
In your
the
perception.
same behaviors, the same perceptions based off the same emotions. And so we start, when we start removing these emotions from the body, the nervous system, and start upgrading that neural signal from the heart to the brain in that heart coherent meditative state, we see such great results.
Exactly.
And you can get out of your own way and stop.
Well, sorry, I was just going to say, as you were listening,
You
to
stopped me mid-stop.
Sorry,
Stop.
I just was thinking, we repeat a lot of the same emotions like frustration and worry, but I mean, there's helplessness and hopelessness and
thanks.
jealousy and sorrow and pride and
Envy.
shame and
And guilt
and guilt and abandonment and heartache and insecurity. I mean, there's 60 emotions that I work with in particular. I mean, and probably more, but those are the ones that we use. So, I mean, there's a lot of different emotions out there that we're dealing with constantly.
And in relationships, there are people that you expect a certain behavior. You have put them in that box and you expect a certain behavior. Well, people can change. And if we put them in that box and that's what we expect, that's what we're going to get. But if we keep an open mind and see, they may have changed. They may be seeing things differently. They may have changed the perspective of their lives. You can change until the day you die. I mean,
Right.
and even forward from that. But so let's not put people in boxes that you're accustomed to. Be open, because when you are open, you will act different with them. And that creates an opportunity for them to change. There are people that won't. But if you're open and if you are...
Well, but that doesn't have to bother you anymore,
No.
because we get rid of the expectations,
Yeah,
right?
we're not attached
Without
to...
expectations, everything becomes very objective.
We're not attached to outcome. And the outcome can be great and the outcome can be the same. Doesn't matter, because you are not attached to it. And you're going to go on from then on.
Right.
It's your attitude in life. It's how you see things, how you act towards things, not react, because reaction creates disasters. But the action that you take, it changes results. So stressed because of ownership, stressed because of relationships and expectations, and I know that if I do this, they're going to do that. No, they might not. So maybe I want to do something different, and I may be glad that I did.
Right.
So, but stressing over small stuff is not worth it. The 12 hours after of cortisol, it's not.
No, and then you miss out not on the cortisol, right, and the physical problems that comes from that, but it's missing out on life. You know what I mean? I was listening to Ed Milet the other day, and he was standing out on his balcony, overlooks the ocean, beautiful, but it was overcast. And he made the point, which is so great, that even if it's overcast, enjoy the moment, right? Because like for so many people, we wait till it's sunny to go down to the beach and everything like that. But he was just making the point, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he's just making the point that we never know when the end is, right? We never know when loved ones won't be around. We never know when we won't be around. We never know what life's going to bring tomorrow. But so many of us are focused on, when this happens, I'll be happy. When I have this amount of money, I'll be happy. When I have, when these people are nice to me, I'll feel better. But the point is we can create that in the moment, and we have to live in the moment, or else we're missing so much, and you never know when that's not going to be a possibility anymore. And so the point is, for me, it's let's get rid of this emotional baggage, because it plagues us. it keeps us in the depths of despair and in anxiety and in depression and in the 60 different emotions and in worry, that constant worry about what if this happens? What if that happens? Man, the more we worry about it, the more it's going to happen, right? It's like skiing down the mountain. Don't hit the tree. Don't hit the tree. You're going to hit the freaking tree. Like you got a 95% chance of hitting the tree. So let's get rid of these emotions and let's open our hearts to possibility, because all creation happens in the heart.
Yeah.
And so that's what we designed this call for.
Yeah.
Is for people to come try it out. Come join us. If there's things in your life that you don't like, we all have them, but we can improve them.
Yeah.
And it's a weekly call where we do live work. You'll benefit every week. The collective group gets the emotional release. We give you tools and techniques to use throughout the week, but we get into that heart coherent state. It's only a 45-minute call because we know people are busy. We know people, have things to do. So do we. But we want it to be that checkpoint that you can come once a week and benefit by. It's far less than doing individual sessions with us, which you have great, it's so beneficial, but we got to start affecting more people. Mm-hmm. And the amplification is better with more people on the call. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
And everyone benefits, everyone understands, it resonates. And now we teach new tools and we can get so much further ahead. And so if you're, if you want to play bigger in life, if you want to feel better in life, just be happy, just have peace, have joy, come check it out.
Yeah,
give us a couple weeks.
And the thing too, when we do individual sessions, we tap, and when we do
we get tapped out.
Yeah.
She means.
There you go.
There's only so many emotions you can release at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If for an individual, the body can only handle so much. But when you do it in a group, because it's a whole, we can do more and empower more and vibrate higher.
Yep.
So there's that benefit that people don't realize that it's there. So, and it is fun. I truly get out of the call. I'm on a high.
Yeah.
It feels great. So come and check us out. And raise your vibration. We can help.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. Bottom line, come give us a try.
Yep.
This has been, something that we really enjoy, but we want as many people as possible because we just want people to feel good.
Yep.
Like there's so much more to life. There's so much more than being stressed out about what could happen instead of creating what can happen.
We are limitless.
Really. But, we need everyone to step into their power.
Yep.
Because we need more harmony in the world. We need more peace in the world. We need better relationships. We need more people with more wealth so they can help other people out. Like that's the bottom line.
And if you wonder if you have questions or if you wonder if we can help or if you want to know more, you can reach out to us, message us, ask your questions. We're pretty good at responding, I'd say.
Yeah.
Or schedule an individual session. We can talk more about it.
Yeah.
Come join the call. It's just a beautiful place for everyone to feel better.
Yep. And we also talk to businesses and help people in groups. So give us a shot.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.